What if I told you there's a country where the earth breathes fire, where elves are part of city planning, and where a baby's name might actually be rejected by the government? Welcome to Iceland, a land so strange, so spectacular, it might just be the most eccentric country on the planet. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear sounds almost made up. Here are 7 mind-blowing facts about Iceland that will completely change how you see this mysterious island. Fact 7. No last names. And you can be rejected by the name committee. In Iceland, naming your child isn't just a personal decision. It's a matter of tradition, grammar, and government approval. Unlike many countries where surnames are passed down from generation to generation, Iceland doesn't follow the traditional last name system. Instead, people are given a first name followed by a patronymic or matronymic based on their father's or mother's name. The suffix son is added for boys, meaning son of, while girls get the suffix daughter, meaning daughter of. But that's just the beginning. In Iceland, there's a government committee known as the Naming Committee, and they have the power to approve or reject any name that doesn't adhere to Icelandic language rules or traditions. Yes, you read that correctly. Parents must submit their baby's name to the committee for approval. If the name doesn't meet the cultural and grammatical standards, it can be outright rejected. This means that your child could, theoretically, remain nameless until the committee gives their stamp of approval. It's an extra layer of bureaucracy that may sound strange to outsiders, but for Icelanders, it's all about preserving tradition and language. After all, when your name carries the weight of centuries of cultural significance, it's not something to be taken lightly. Fact 6. No mosquitoes at all. Imagine all the places where you've been bitten by mosquitoes. The buzzing, the itching, the frustration. Now picture a place where mosquitoes simply don't exist. That's Iceland. In this mosquito-free paradise, you won't have to worry about swatting at pesky bugs while you relax outdoors. Despite having water, summer, warmth, and enough human activity to attract most pests, mosquitoes have never managed to set up shop in Iceland. It's a mystery that has baffled scientists for years. While many countries with similar climates struggle to keep mosquitoes at bay, Iceland remains untouched by these blood-sucking insects. Experts aren't entirely sure why mosquitoes haven't made Iceland their home, but the country's unique environment, with its volcanic landscapes, cold winds, and lack of standing water during the summer, seems to make it an inhospitable place for the pests. If you're someone who loathes bug spray or just wants a vacation free from the constant buzzing, Iceland might just be your perfect getaway. It's one of the few places on Earth where you can enjoy the outdoors without the nuisance of mosquitoes. Fact 5. They take elves seriously. Like, really seriously. In Iceland, you might find yourself driving through a picturesque village when suddenly the road swerves around a rock. At first glance, it might seem like a random detour, but in Árnessýsla, Iceland, there's a very specific reason for it. That rock could be home to elves. Icelanders take their folklore seriously, and one of the most fascinating and widely believed aspects is the existence of elves, or huldufólk, meaning the hidden people. These mystical beings are believed to live in rocks, hills, and even underground, and the locals have a deep respect for their presence. So much so that construction projects have been halted, roads have been rerouted, and entire building plans have been scrapped to avoid disturbing the homes of these elusive creatures. And no, it's not a joke. Over 50% of Icelanders believe in elves, or at least they believe it's best not to mess with them. There's a strong sense of reverence for the unseen world, where the line between reality and myth is often blurred. Whether you believe in elves or not, you'd be wise to respect the land. Because in Iceland, it's not just about the physical world. It's about the invisible forces that might be watching. Fact 4. Hot water comes from volcanoes and smells like rotten eggs in Iceland. Turning on the tap gives you something most people can only dream of: geothermally heated water straight from the Earth's core. It's pure, it's hot, and it's endless. thanks to the volcanic activity that powers the country's renewable energy. Icelanders get their water from the natural heat beneath the ground, an eco-friendly solution that makes the country a leader in sustainable energy. But there's a catch. Because of the high levels of sulfur in the geothermal water, it comes with a distinctive smell, one that's often compared to rotten eggs. Imagine stepping into a hot shower and inhaling the pungent scent of sulfur. While it may seem off-putting at first, most locals have grown accustomed to the smell, and it's just part of life in this volcanic paradise. Despite the sulfuric scent, the trade-off is more than worth it. The geothermal water is an abundant, sustainable resource that powers homes, heats buildings, and supplies endless hot water without harming the environment. It's an example of how Iceland has harnessed the power of nature in a way that's both practical and green, providing its citizens with an endless supply of heat and energy from deep beneath the earth. Fact 3. There's a penis museum, and it's the only one in the world. Yes, you read that correctly. Iceland is home to the Phallological Museum, the only one of its kind in the world. This unusual museum is dedicated to something you don't hear about every day: penises. But before you laugh it off, think of it as an educational and scientific exploration into the animal kingdom's most memorable feature. The museum boasts over 200 real specimens from a variety of species, including whales, seals, and, yes, humans. From the largest mammal on Earth to the smallest creatures, each specimen is carefully preserved, and there's a wealth of information about the biology and cultural significance of these anatomical wonders. It's quirky, it's bizarre, but it's also strangely fascinating. While it may sound like something out of a strange travel guide, the Phallological Museum is not just for shock value. It's an educational experience, providing insight into how different cultures have viewed the subject throughout history. The exhibits offer a mix of humor, science, and history, making it a unique stop for those who dare to explore something out of the ordinary. If you ever find yourself in Iceland, don't be surprised if this oddball museum ends up being one of the most unforgettable stops on your trip. It's definitely a place you won't soon forget. Fact 2. Everyone knows everyone. Literally. Iceland is a small country with just over 370,000 people, and in such a tight-knit society, it feels like everyone knows everyone else. And not just through casual acquaintances. The connections run so deep that many Icelanders are related, even if it's distant. This creates a unique challenge when it comes to dating. To avoid any awkward situations, like unknowingly dating a cousin, Icelanders have created a quirky solution: an app. This app lets people bump phones to check if they share any common ancestors, like grandparents. It might sound strange, but it's a practical tool in a place where family trees intertwine so often. Dating in Iceland is almost like combining ancestry research with modern dating apps. Imagine Tinder, but with a built-in family history feature. The close connections between people are a reminder of just how small the gene pool is and how intertwined everyone's lives truly are. Yet, even with these intimate ties, romance still thrives, thanks to technology that helps people navigate their shared history without losing the opportunity for love. Fact 1. They had a peaceful revolution, and it worked. In 2008, during the global financial crisis, Iceland faced an economic collapse, with its banking system in ruins. But instead of resorting to violence, the people took to the streets. In a peaceful protest, thousands of Icelanders gathered in Reykjavik, banging pots and pans to make their voices heard. It was a sound of unity, demanding change from corrupt politicians and a broken financial system. Remarkably, the protest remained peaceful. There was no violence, no destruction. The streets weren't filled with chaos. Instead, the people used their collective will to drive change. The government resigned in response to the people's demands, and the banking system was overhauled. Iceland's citizens had achieved a revolution without bloodshed. This peaceful movement showed the world that change doesn't have to come through violence or destruction. Iceland's peaceful revolution stands as a powerful example of how a nation, even one as small as Iceland, can fight for justice and rebuild itself through unity and determination. Iceland isn't just about glaciers and northern lights. It's a living contradiction. Warm and icy, ancient and futuristic, mythic and modern. A place where lava flows beneath elf-protected stones, and where the strangest things are just part of daily life. Which of these facts blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you ever make it to Iceland, just remember, don't mess with the elves.